Across the country, protests are taking aim at monuments that have stood for decades. In Charleston, South Carolina, today workers removed a statue of former Vice President John Calhoun, who backed slavery and secession. Last night, people in Madison, Wisconsin, upset over the arrest of an activist, tore down a statue of a woman that was known as Forward.
Earlier this week, demonstrators tried unsuccessfully to pull down a statue of Andrew Jackson in the park across the street from the White House. A very similar statue of Jackson sits right outside City Hall here in Kansas City, and some people are calling for a change. KCTV5's Abby Dodge reports this isn't the first debate over that statue.
Back in 2019, the legislature approved a resolution to add a plaque detailing the racist past of Andrew Jackson. The plaque hasn't made it up on the statue yet, but some residents say don't bother, just take the whole thing down. Conversations at the bus stop aren't just about the weather these days.
Why do you think they specify race on application?
For some riders, a statue 100 feet away is a daily reminder of what their ancestors endured. Jackson was the owner of more than 100 slaves he routinely abused, and the former president was credited for the Indian Removal Act, forcing Native Americans off their land. Now, in the county that shares his namesake, residents we talked to say it's time for Andrew Jackson to go.
They can write it off any kind of way they want to, but in my opinion, I say removing.
I really don't feel that it's right, with all the stuff that's going on right now.
Darrell Ross would at least like to see the intended plaque make it onto this statue. He says he'd appreciate an asterisk next to Jackson's name.
That'll put a better understanding in their minds, in all of our minds.
People are all tugging on it. It doesn't seem to be moving yet.
Plaque or not, in cities across the nation, activists have questioned whether a president with an intensely racist past should be cast in the finest metals.
They tearing down the rest of them. He might well go too.
Kansas Cityans are not only questioning the statue's existence, but its location, across the street from Abraham Lincoln.
That's like yin and yang right there. So you got a slave trader against a slave freer, But now the world is acknowledging it, just gonna get rid of that. Instead of keep trying to sweep it under the rug and act like everything is hunky-dory.
We reached out to the legislator who sponsored the resolution for a plaque to see when it might be added. Her office says she could not comment on the plaque at this time. And we should also mention it wasn't a unanimous vote. 2 people did vote against the plaque. We reached out to both of those legislators, and their offices have not gotten back to us yet. In Kansas City, Abby Dodge, KCTV5 News.
And this isn't the first statue in Kansas City to become the center of debate. Back in 2017, a monument on Ward Parkway put up by the United Daughters of the Confederacy was vandalized. Several days later, it was packed up and moved to a new location.